Okay, guys, this one is a really hot coin right now. This is SIACOIN, and I'm doing SIACOIN Tether dollar equivalent. Okay, and this is on Bittrex right now. And a little bit of theory before we get started, right, guys? If you guys want to see a blog version of this, you're welcome to go take a look at it on Steemit as well, where I would really appreciate an upvote. And you guys are welcome to subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on Twitter, where I post a lot of goodies as well to try to help with the community. And the ultimate goal is to grow your portfolio and to find more opportunities and to have more eyes in the field. So if you come across a lot more TA, just think of a lot of people throwing leads at you, right? And then you filter through the leads yourself to see which one's good, which one's bad. I'm just a source of information, and it's up to you guys to digest the information. And yeah, definitely welcome to like, upvote, etc. as well. And you guys are welcome to donate to my dog's cryptocurrency piggy bank, which just goes towards emergency funds and her drinking problem that mainly goes towards tequila, etc., and then vodka. So we're gonna get into some theory here before we start with Elliott wave. Elliott wave goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like this right here. And then for every corrective pattern, especially a strong wave up. Let's say you had a really strong 5 waves up like that, right? Where it wasted no time at all. Alright? It wasted absolutely no time at all. Then we would most likely have an impulse zigzag down like that, a strong one down, which retraces to Fibonacci levels, of course, and depending on how far it goes down, right, we try to use Fibonacci as a gauge of possible extensions and how far it can go down. So that is kind of how it is right here. And also, I want to go over something here. I want to go over how a head and shoulders is formed. Okay, you guys know head and shoulders like this. And I don't think a lot of people know it this way. I'm trying to look for the shapes. Where are they? There we go. So they have head and shoulders labeled in here, right? Okay, you guys know head and shoulder like that, right? For example, that's a head and shoulder. Let's see another head and shoulder. Maybe one with a parallel line, like a straighter line like that, right? When I see another head and shoulder, you might see one slope less as well, right? You might see one slope down, like not really that way. No, you don't see it. You might just a little bit less like that, something typical like that almost, right? Sometimes you even see it like that, right? You can see it like that as well, okay? I'm going to show you guys how they're formed. The head and shoulders are formed because this is wave 1, 2, this 3 goes there, 4 goes there, 5, like that, okay? And the ABC is like this, where it forms from the A to the B to the C. So what a lot of people want to do is they want to play an A, right, wherever it's found, and they want to play a C as well when it lands later as well. Some people are daring and they short from a B position, so everybody enters differently the ball game. So if you guys take a look at this right here, right now, okay, this does make, right, this does make support like that. And on a daily chart, all of this would be an ABC correction, right? It's crazy. What did it fall down from? Doesn't even show. Put my mouse on there, it doesn't show. Now, aren't you guys curious about what that price is? The price was 22,000. Yeah, so all this is an ABC correction. So the official impulse wave up began right here. So you can call this a small wave 1, which definitely is it, since the wave 2 got a lower low, or sorry, a higher low. And all of this is wave 3 somewhere, right? And all of that's wave 4 somewhere. And this made a wave 5. I don't know if you guys know, but SIACOIN, in the span of how many months? Weeks, rather. In the span of a few days, guys, a few days, you guys have all been falling asleep at the wheel. SIACOIN has done 410% in the past 12 days. Yes, that's right. It has done 408% in 12 days, guys. If you had put in 10K, you would have made a year's salary right there. It would have gone up to 40K. So that's how much it's gone up. It's gone up from about 2 cents to a high of like 11 cents. But sorry, 2.5 cents about to a high of about 11 something cents, say? Okay? So it's at about 408%. That's absurd, right? So this is why we're looking at this coin right now. It's about to bounce, okay? So here you see the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now what we want to see next, obviously, is some sort of A, B, C, right? We don't know how low it's going to go. We don't know how low this one's going to go. So what we want to do is get a retracement of all the way from the bottom of all of wave 1. Like that. So this is how we do it, guys. Okay? Fibonacci lesson time. There's 5 motive waves up, and Fibonacci takes the retracement of wave 2 only for wave 1. Fibonacci of wave 4 takes the retracement of only wave 3. Okay? So for wave 2, it's only for wave 1. For wave 4, it is only for wave 3. But for wave 5, it takes the retracement of the entire length from waves 1 to there. And the general rule is that wave 4 cannot go to this territory by a lot. There's some exceptions to it. Okay, there are exceptions to it. For example, we noticed right away that this one right here, for Fibonacci, this one here, retraced to about the 618 level. So this one might not retrace a lot, or it has a chance to retrace a lot, since this is clearly above the 786 level here by a lot, or below it, I mean, right? So here's below. So we use this as a baseline support, assuming that wave 1 does not retrace to the wave 4 does not retrace to the territory there. So automatically we assume that, hey, this could be the most that it could retrace to, right? Some people were probably doing this as well, right? After that wave 1 formed, they probably drew this in here, just like that, like how I'm drawing it, just like that. And they're like, wave 4 is going to retrace all the way down to here. We're going to go back to 1.4 cents because they drew the support in here like that, right? So that's logical to assume as well. Unfortunately, they were wrong. And unfortunately, it only retraced to a healthy amount. To a healthy amount for wave 2 here. Between, actually the most resistance was between maybe poking through 0.5 region a little bit. 382 fib region right here is the biggest buy zone, right? It's a really big buy zone right now in there. So that's a really important buy zone right there. But right now, what we're trying to do is take the Fibonacci of all of here. And right now, guys, what we need to make note of is that there's a lot of long wicks poking down. Lots of long wicks poking down, which shows a lot of rejection to the downside, but also rejection to the upside. So the bulls and the bears are definitely battling right here, but we are getting a series of more inside candles. If you ignore the wicks themselves, it's getting tighter and tighter and tighter. The MACD, yes, is crossing over, but let me ask you guys this. Is this a scenario as well? Is that a possible scenario where it curves like that right now as well? Just a little bit. Just a tiny bit, okay? Maybe for 3 days, right? Where it just curves up like that a little bit, and we get a lower high, then it comes down, right? Is that possible? Is it possible that it goes up a little bit like that and just curves over, right? And then comes down? Where the blue line, sorry, that would be the red line. And is the blue line possible where it does this right here? Where it just kind of comes in a little bit, right? It does come down, and then it curves back up, and then it comes down with it, right? Like that. Is that possible? then the histogram would look something like that, where it comes up like that, then comes down and curves. So these are possibilities, and the answer is yes, it is possible. Now we're going to try to dissect it more by looking at it on a better time frame. Take a look at this here quickly, okay? Do you guys see right here? Is it possible for this one to just curve up just for a tiny few hours? Maybe like maybe like 6 or 7 bars? This way the daily one could have those, could have a tiny tick up. Look at this one's ticking up a little bit, right? It definitely is curving up. So we know that it has the momentum to go up right now a tiny bit. And the reason why it does is because of this right now. The reason why it does is because this is now the A that has formed, and we're looking for a B somewhere, okay? We're looking for a B somewhere, and then later it makes a C again. So right now, the flavor of the month is this kind of pattern right here, where that is A, and then it makes a B. So this one's actually lagging behind the pace. Let's look at Bitcoin and let me show you. If you look at Bitcoin right now, where's bitfinex, guys? Right there. Look at Bitcoin, for example, okay? It made a point down here like this, right? And then it made its way up. So this right here is the A, that is the B, and we're figuring out the C right now still. This could be the C right here already, right? But nevertheless, if you look closely on Bitcoin right here, we do count 5 waves coming down. And then here, this would be like a very irregular A, B, C, D, where this would be an A, B, C. Actually, no, this one would be A, most likely. B, C, D. How did I see it before? I can't remember. A, B, C, D, and E. Hold on. A, B, C, D, E. No, right. It was like this. It was A, B, C, D, and E. Like that. Where it forms a triangle to come down, and then it wedges, right, and breaks out to the upside. Doesn't quite make a touch in there, but all of this right here is a wave B consolidation, because what this does is it makes an A like that, it makes a B like that here, and it makes a C within the wave B up there. So if you guys noticed on Bitcoin, it leveled off, right? Like we didn't really see it level off the same way, but what we're seeing is like, actually we're seeing it level off the same way right here. So make note of this specific area that I'm highlighting. So if we take a look at SIACOIN again, you guys know what's funny? When I changed there's a weird audio thing there because I changed back to Lisk, right? And I was analyzing Lisk for like 5 minutes. And I realized that, what the heck am I doing right now? I'm looking at SIACOIN, and then I have to like edit the video a little bit just now. So, and I was so confused there for a few minutes, man. This new like God's green crack, it's very stimulating, put it that way, okay? Okay, so here's 5 waves, 1, 2, 3. Like 1, 2. Let's see if we can see it better here. 3. Like around 4. Actually, this makes sense right here. 1, 2, and this is actually 3 here, but 4 goes right there. It's almost the territory of wave 1, and then 5. And the reason this makes sense is because this makes a 4. This does an A, B, C with really much higher high, but also a higher low by barely, and then it spikes up there to make an A, B, C. It's kind of a weird one. This one didn't quite reach a higher one, but that's how I believe that one looks over here. It just it fell short basically to almost a double top, you can call it, and this is the one that made like an irregular pattern. So I do see the A in, and I see the bottom in, guys. I see the bottom in right now, and I see this, right, as going to make some sort of, you know, A like that. It already did, looks like, and it's going to make some sort of B pattern, and then it's going to go up like that, right? Just hypothetical, it does something like this to C up there, right? And then that becomes ABC, then we figure out where this one goes, which I do think will break down a little bit more, because based on fib extensions, you know, right now it has retraced a good amount to right here, 0 point, even to the 0.5 to 0.6 fib regions, right? Take a look, it did hit it. It's hovering between the higher end of the 0.5 fib region, right? So it wants to make a bounce right now to B. That's what it wants to do up there. So depending on how we draw it, right, it could end up doing something like that, right? It could end up doing something like that if we go wick to wick. Just depends on the time frame that we look at it, right? So if we go wick to wick like that, it might do something like that. But nevertheless, right now, guys, like we saw in Bitcoin, it hit it once, it bounced, and then it hovered around it, and then it went up. Just, can you guys remind me that we're doing SIACOIN, not Bitcoin? Or sorry, we're doing SIACOIN, not Lisk. Okay, so this one, if that's the ABC, right? And then, you know, whatever, this forms a support there later, it gets broken, you know, some people are probably just grasping on straws and just trying to draw it however it fits. But, you know, like some people are probably drawing it like that, I'm sure. Like, jeez. You gotta draw however, you know, this is a really relevant point, but because it's parabolic, there's really no... See, this is what I mean by parabolic, right, for Bitcoin. It becomes, every time you're getting a parabola type shape that's going up. So it makes it hard to differentiate between real supports. People are probably drawing it like that, right? People are probably drawing it like that eventually, and now they're just lowering it. But the whole point is that it makes a touch somewhere, okay? It makes a touch somewhere right here, right, guys? We can agree on that. Right there. And then it does some sort of consolidation pattern, and then it breaks out to a B. What coin are we doing again, guys? We're doing SIACOIN. Just making sure you guys are not thinking we're on Lisk. So here, it made it as well, where this is well, on a lower time frame shows a lot. That's B, and you know that's could be C. So just as an example, we don't need to go back and forth. I got a Bitcoin open here too, actually. Just an example on a daily, how much did it retrace? Okay, right there. I'm guessing 618. Yeah, retrace the 618 region, right? Right here. So the smart people out there that knew that this was A and that was B, the next highest point, and people would mistaken it for this one, but usually what happens is there's a consolidation pattern here, and then it breaks out, because this actually does, like I mentioned, the ABC, right? This does the ABC in there, a counter trend against this one here coming down, and then it does its 5-wave coming down here. So this one retraces 618 for Bitcoin. And then for SIACOIN, just to be clear, guys, just to be clear, right? So if we took the most extreme case right here, and now let's assume that this is indeed the bottom, and it's just forming like on a low time frame, probably some A, B, C, D, E correction, A, B, C, D, sorry, A, B, C, D, and E, right? Because this makes wave 1 right here. Like, let's count it. You guys can count it with me. This makes, if this was A and that was B, right? And that's almost C right there. Because take a look. if that was wave 1 or wave A where it ended, that's the next lowest point there, about like around there. Sorry, I'm going to draw it a little bit better so there's no argument. The general average area there, here, next low, next high, and then the next low. And how can we even argue that that's the same thing as Bitcoin? Like, or that's not the same thing as Bitcoin, pretty much. It made an A, B, C, D, E type of corrective pattern in here. And then this C, guys, is priming right now. Right now, like a breakout is very imminent, in my opinion, right? And then this one does a 5-wave up like that. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now we will have formed our A, right? This, I'm just gonna draw it up here so it doesn't overlap. And then now we worry about our C later. We can worry about our C later when we have extensions there. But there's no debating, guys, that we do see it leveling off quite a bit right now, right? We absolutely see it leveling off right here from this perspective. So I do expect a B somewhere up there to be somewhere like that. And if Bitcoin retraced, right, to the 618 region and it actually nailed it, actually I'm going to keep this in here, and it nailed it, then why can't this one do as well? But we'll be a little bit more not as bullish, I guess, and we'll just go for a target range of here. So you guys can, if I were to play this position right now, which I you know what, no, I can't go to Bittrex yet. I've got a 5-day deposit lock, so even if I wanted to transfer more there, I couldn't. I've got stuff tied on there already. You know, if you're looking towards the breakout right here, as long as it does hover around that line here, if I entered a position right at the breakout, or even right now, entered a position right now, I'm shooting for, say the even the middle of the 0.5 to 618 fib region. Okay. Actually, target 1 would be like the 0.5 fib region at 82, and target 2 would be 89 cents, 82 and 89. So even if we went with the conservative one and we went with the stop loss slightly below this channel here, okay, we went with the stop loss slightly below this channel, say at 60 cents or something, you have a chance to gain still about 22% on the conservative side, right? And on the high side, the aggressive side, 33% versus like 22%, and you have a chance to lose about 11%. So it's still a very reasonable stop loss. So after it hit A here, okay, let's look at Bitcoin. After it hit A here on Bitcoin, okay, people were probably like, oh yeah, the channel's gonna hold. They're like, yeah, A's gonna hold, you know, right? Like that. Do you see what I mean? So let's say I drew it just like that, okay? Right here. Like that right now. Where it's sloping, right? This point right here is where we see B right now. This is what makes A, B, C pretty much. Like something like that, okay? A, B, C. And the point where A and here is 0, where the origin of A and B hit it, right? People are probably like, yeah, it's not going to break it, it's not going to break it. But it actually did break it, right? In this wave down over here. It actually did break it. So people had to redraw their lines, right? This one is a very valid one, and they might consider it as a bull break, but people had to redraw their trend lines like this. And this, you know, there's many different variations to draw it, right? There's one variation like that, right? People might take the two most relevant ones, like right here, right now, like that as well. But either way, this area for Bitcoin, right? This area for Bitcoin, kind of like right there, is a hot spot, is a hot buy zone based on these intersections of apex. And now SIA, the reason why we're going back and forth a lot is because it affects everything that all these coins do. So once it hits the B region, right, and that's 82 and 89 again is target 1, target 2, right, it's probably going to break this, guys. People are going to think it's going to hold, but it's obviously going to break, right? It's probably going to break and do an appropriate C, in my opinion. Unless B had so much force that it went up to there, right? and the market sentiment is so bullish, then maybe it'll hold, maybe it won't hold. We don't know. But what we see right now is that it's actually very bullish in general. So this made kind of like a channel, right? And then it broke out of the channel. Actually, it's incredibly bullish overall. It's making an expanding diagonal. Check that out. It's making an expanding diagonal, and as you guys saw in my other videos like EOS, where we missed my target by 50 cents, I said it would go to about $19.24, and we hit 18.75, and people thought I was crazy, and this was only 24 hours ago. Yeah, guys, EOS hit 1870, I don't know, 64, 74, and I predicted 1924 for target 1. So this is the same pattern that we've seen in Dash, same pattern that we've seen in EOS as well, right? Where there's resistance right around the 1-to-1 extension ratio, I bet, and then it hits something ridiculously up there. And Dash is in the same type of consolidation phase right now. So guys, I do expect it to bounce very, very shortly. All things aside, we're finding some solid support right now in this region right now, and I do expect it to bounce to the 618 Fibonacci level, between 82 and 89 right there. So those are my thoughts, guys, that I think that we're finding solid support right now. Like, look at all the candles, right? It's getting higher highs, even on the 4-hour one as well, right? It's getting a series of higher highs all the time. It looks like it wants to curve up right now like this, right? It's getting a series of higher highs in the histogram as well. I mean, and if it doesn't go up and we end up breaking down instead, right? We end up breaking down instead, we just ask ourselves, how much really further can it go down? So if I did my fib extension there, it can go down to 45 maybe, right? Maybe it can go down to 45. And this is the next support zone, right? Just this tiny little buy zone right here. It's super small. So really the next level of buy zone is all the way here as a support, right? So that's pretty far down in general. So there's a chance that it could retrace all the way down to here as well. But it's hard for me not to take the chance of going long here when we're seeing lots of rejections of it going down. And the 4-hour is almost a dead giveaway as well, where it looks like it just wants to curve up for one more round, one more go, right? So maybe not one more go to make an impulse wave, but at least to target between 82 and 89 cents there. So those are my thoughts, guys. I hope you enjoyed this technical analysis brought to you by Philicon, Sir Mr. Fibonacci there. And Luna also helped me plan all this as well, as you guys know. I'd appreciate an upvote on Steemit, where you can also find a blog version of this as well. And if you guys like the material and the content that I'm providing, and it has helped you sometime down the road for some immense profits, guys, you guys are welcome to like, subscribe, and share it to my YouTube and Twitter, where you can find lots of good information. Hey guys, the reason why I'm not on TV is because I was meant for radio. Actually, I wasn't even meant for radio. It was so bad that they put me on the internet, and of all things, where I won't even show my face. Don't you guys like my Asian beautiful face? It is pretty beautiful, right? I look like a little schoolboy. So handsome. So yeah, and Luna's got a cryptocurrency piggy bank as well. You guys are welcome to donate to that if you love the material and want to support the cause in general. So have a great day, guys. Once again, we're looking between 82 and 89 cents there, okay? And we're just looking for a basic retracement right there to see what the next pattern can form. And we're looking for a possible, my stop loss will be, say, 60 cents. Or sorry, it'll be about, say, 55 cents. And I'll target 82 cents first, something like that. Actually, I think it was 11 cents I said. 58 cents is my stop loss, say. And I'll target 82 cents for a 24% gain. So those are some short-term plays. So have yourselves a great night, guys. Or morning. I saw 8 o'clock on the clock on my computer, and I thought it was PM. Because I had just got up, right? I got up around, I think, midnight. So to me, I thought it was like noon, but of course the sun was out, or the sun was not out, right? So it was midnight. So yeah, that's why I thought it was actually 8 p.m. just now. Again, I made the same mistake twice. So take my advice, guys. Just like in trading, you try not to repeat the same mistakes twice, and you always learn from your mistakes. So guys, stay classy. traders. Bye now.